aircraft, salary allowances of the pilots, the air hostess, all those who are hosted, not only the president, all those officials in the aircraft. His brother bore that costs on the president's behalf. Me, I have a patience to tolerate. You don't. You don't. You can't accommodate me, but I can. Don't you think that the actions of Mr. President in the circumstance as available to us was inappropriate?
I do not think so.
Respected colleague, you have told this committee that you used your car loan to buy a combined harvester for the farmers in your constituency. First, I want you to be specific to guide us. You had a car loan in 2013, 2017, and 2020. Please share with us which of them you used in buying the combine harvester. Is it the 2013 one or 2017 one? Or 2021? Because each parliament, an MP is giving a car loan. So I want to know from you, which of them you used to buy a combine harvester for your farmers?
I was making specific reference to the 2021.
In fact, the question was specific reference to 2021.
So, may I know from you, the 2021, you see, normally the procedure is this. You will give the name of the automobile company that you intend to buy from. You provide the name to Parliament, and then Parliament will issue the check directly to the automobile company, because the check is not issued in your name. Now, let me ask you, the letter you wrote to Parliament in respect of you drawing this amount for your car loan, how did you draft the letter and what was the content?
This procedure you talk about is procedure not known to me. I'm aware that there are a good number of MPs, majority on your side actually, who have used their car loans for other matters. You are aware of the reports under former Speaker Okwe, those who use it to pay their children's school fees, you know, children abroad and all of that. And I don't know how they then drafted their letters to automobile companies when they used those monies for school. So some have used theirs to pay their children's school fees. I use mine to buy a combined harvester for my farmers. I don't really see, and my farmers, my rice farmers are really grateful. So I really don't know about this procedure you're talking about.
Honorable member, and I'm happy that we're having this exercise, and I just want Chairman to pay attention to this. Honorable member, I am being very specific to you. If you say I am aware, at this point I am not on oath. If you say I'm aware some people used their monies for children's school fees, other things on my side, you see, then we'll be getting into a certain arena. People may not appreciate when I want to now delve into it, provide evidence of those people, then they also come and defend themselves. So I would plead with you.
I'll be happy to provide.
No
I have the
problem.
list.
Okay, that's fine.
I can provide.
That's all right. Then I'll be happy to know. I will be happy for you to provide. But for the time being, let's deal with you. And then if it pleases you that because you are not the only guilty person and that there are other accomplices, that's fine. Because you are saying that people use it to pay their children's school fees. You use yours to pay for buy a harvester. So blah blah blah. So I am dealing with your situation. I am dealing with your situation. I don't know of others. So I want to know how you procured the combine harvester. I'm not vetting any other person apart from him. And I'm limiting myself to him, and I'll show him utmost respect as our chief diplomat. Honorable nominee, this combine harvester that you purchased for your people with your car loan, the fact is that the monies are lodged with Parliament. You will need a correspondence to access that money. Please share with us the process you undertook to access that money.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'm happy to provide that. You do know that in our offices, our RAs are responsible for all of these administrative enterprises. So, Mr. Chairman, if you will allow me, I'm on oath. I do not want to make statements because I don't have those documents here. But I'm able to retrieve them from the office and submit them later, if Mr. Chairman, you will permit.
Honorable nominee, let us all tread cautiously. Be brief in your answers.
Honorable,
Yeah, but Mr. Chairman, I'm seeking your your ruling. Am I allowed to submit that later? Because
Yes,
I don't
sure.
have those letters
No,
here.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
To make it available to us
Because
later.
I
that's
didn't
fine.
drop those letters.
That's all
myself.
right. So, Chairman, can you talk to your people? It would make the thing mad. Can they be quiet? You. Honorable nominee, whilst we give you time to furnish us with the letters that you wrote to the Clerk of Parliament, did you, in the letter, state, to the best of your memory, did you state to the clerk that your money, instead of using it to buy a car, which was why the state granted you that amount, instead of using it to buy, you were going to use it to buy a combine harvester?
I've been very open and transparent about my dealings, and I do not want to engage in guesswork. I have said that I will submit all the necessary documents on this particular transaction. So I would not engage in any guesswork. But I volunteered this information. I've talked about it time without number. Everybody in my constituency knows I have nothing to hide about this matter. So I'll submit the documents to you. But for now, I will not engage in any guesswork because I don't have the documents here.
2013, your car loan, did you access it?
I must have done that.
Can you share with us how you access that?
Again, I'll have to retrieve those documents for you.
Chairman, with your leave, I would stay questions on that to enable our respected colleague to bring documents in respect of how we access his 2013 car loan. Meanwhile, in 2013, you were a Deputy Minister of Education, correct?
Yes, I was.
In your work, you had access to an official saloon car and an official four-wheel drive as a Deputy Education Minister, correct?
Yeah, correct.
At the same time, you had a four-wheel drive purchased for you by Parliament, correct?
That's a car loan, so I don't know
yes,
how you are
very
defining that. It is deducted from our salary, so I think that it has to be, the context has to be,
Yes,
has
I
to
would,
be- has to be
Honorable
done
Nominee, don't
properly.
worry. I would be fair as much as possible. Car loan, that's why I use the word car loan. So the ordinary meaning of a loan is that you will pay back. And we know that the car loans that we access, they deduct from our salary within the 4 years. So I will get to that point. Now, when you served 2013 to 2017 as Deputy Minister of Education, on record, you've told the Ghanaian public that you had access to an official four-wheel drive, had access to a saloon vehicle, and then on top of it, another four-wheel drive, which was a car loan from Parliament. Now, when you left office, the saloon car that you used, did you get the opportunity to purchase it?
I didn't put in an application to purchase it. That was available as an option, but I didn't avail myself for it. So I left it behind.
Same with the four-wheel drive you used at the ministry.
Yes, four-wheel drives are not covered under this policy.
Emphasis.
So for
I'm bringing
emphasis,
the question
all
for
my
emphasis.
official cars were left behind. I didn't apply to buy any of them.
So as at 2017, the only vehicle available to you was your four-wheel drive that Parliament bought for you, which there was deduction, correct?
Honorable Minority Leader, the nominee keep on saying it is a car loan, and you are using the word Parliament bought for you. Let's not create a different impression in public. So let's restrict ourselves to a car loan before the impression is created in public as if Parliament buys the car for us.
Let's come to 2017. Again, you won election and you came to Parliament. 2017, again, the state made available a car loan to you. Did you access that car loan for your second term in Parliament?
Yes, I did.
Did you buy a four-wheel drive with it or some other cars?
I stayed within the quantum available. So because I had the Land Cruiser for the previous term, this time I purchased 2 saloon vehicles, but I stayed within the parameters. I didn't exceed. Yeah, because you know that some people do pickups and all of that. Yeah, so.
Honorable member,
yeah, for clarity.
Yes, with respect to you, please help me by limiting it to only yourself. Because when you say other people, that's where chairman doesn't want me to go there, so that we don't introduce whistleblowers and other people's rights. So it's you now for the time being. Is that okay?
No, it cannot be okay. It's important to put things in proper context. People must know that there are these options available to all of us. People are taking different decisions. Some are doing a pickup or 2 pickups, or a pickup and a Land Cruiser, or a saloon car, and all of that. So it is important to put things in proper context so that the wrong impression is not created.
So, for 2017, you used your car loan to buy 2 saloon vehicles. You've just told us that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which saloon vehicles are you referring to?
A salon vehicle is a salon vehicle. I can provide the details and my CAN number, but I don't want to do that publicly. So I can provide that.
So, are you able to provide us with the letters you wrote to Parliament? Which letters you use in accessing those funds to the automobile company where you bought them? You'll be able to provide us.
My RA keeps very good records, and I'm sure all of that. If Chairman,
let me straighten the record.
yeah,
That we've all been beneficiaries of the car loan. Sometimes the automobile company will bring a list or will have a paper, and all those who want to procure the vehicle from that automobile company would indicate their names. So it is not necessarily you writing a letter to that effect. We've all used the procedure. You see, and this is including leadership.
yeah. So, Chairman, if you, I'm willing to follow your direction, Chairman, but I'm happy to provide all of these documents. My RA is a good record keeper.
Honorable nominee, do you know Rukayatu Al-Hassan, a chartered accountant who works with the Controller and Accountant General's Department?
No, the name doesn't ring a bell.
Honorable member, do you know of Louisa Osei, who works at the Department of Public Invested Lands Management Division at the Lands Commission?
No, I don't think I know them.
You'll be surprised if these individuals say they have a close relationship with you.
I'll be very surprised.
Now let's come to Ora. And you indicated, I'm bringing you there because on your CV, sometimes people may not appreciate why we're asking certain questions. If you come to page 1 of your own CV, you stated profile, Member of Parliament for Norton, 4th term. Then you come to summary. Under it, you have chairman, Operation Recover All Loot. So it's on the basis of what you have put on your CV that I'm mounting my questions. So now, share with us. I know it was publicly announced that the respected Domlevo is a member of your committee. The respected Kofi Boachi is a member. And then Mr. Martin Pebu, a respected lawyer. Sometimes people may have their own disagreement with him, but he's also playing his role in our democracy, and I respect him for what he's doing for his country. We can't always agree. Now, tell us, in very clear terms, what the mandate of this ORA has been.
Our mandate is exactly what Article 41F of the 1992 Constitution speaks of. And Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I'll read Article 41F. Article 41F provides.
Please do.
the exercise and enjoyment of rights and freedoms is inseparable from the performance of duties and obligations. And accordingly, it shall be the duty of every citizen, F, to protect and preserve public property and expose and combat misuse and waste of public funds and property, unquote. So our mandate is to really be patriotic citizens. And I'm so proud that His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama found me worthy to chair this eminent committee, which has the eminent patriots you have listed. Our mandate is simply to serve as a vehicle of information gathering. We've put out hotlines, we've put out emails, we have a website, and we are receiving information which we are compiling in a comprehensive document. We also carry out field visitations, because we don't want to be an armchair committee that just, puts together a report that we cannot verify, which we cannot validate, which is not credible. So we carry out field visits. We've been to a number of places across the country to be sure that the information that people are giving us are indeed accurate, so that we can present a credible, comprehensive report to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. So that is what we have been doing, making sure that we prevent the looting, the misuse, the abuse of public property.
Now, you mentioned that earlier, that people have been coming to your secretariat with information. So where is the secretariat?
The secretariat, which is really a makeshift secretariat, and we have to express our gratitude using this platform to Her Excellency the Vice President, Professor Nana Jenopoku-Agyemang. We share her office with her. She generously, because she also believes, so passionately in oral, in protecting looting and protecting public assets. She very graciously allowed us to use her office for this work. So that's the secretariat we are using.
You mean her office at Jubilee House?
No, her private office.
Where is this office?
In Cantonment.
Cantonment, okay.
Yes.
Now, this her private office in Cantonment, is it an office that she, because cantonment lands are state lands. So now, this is a private office in Cantonment. Is it an office that she owns or she has rented? Is it something that you know?
Honorable member, the question is overruled. The essence is that she is not the owner. The place was made available. The person who made the place available has been mentioned. How would he, the user, be able to know whether the place is owned or it was rented?
Mr. Chair.
Well, Chair, I can, Chair, if you don't mind, just make your work simple, because I have information.
I'm very mindful.
I have information.
I mind.
It's rented. She doesn't own it. It's rented. So, Chairman, if you don't mind, so that we don't even create any unfair impression in the minds of Ghanaians, because I work closely with her, and I know the struggle.
The person, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyemang, is the tenant.
Yes,
she is a tenant.
Absolutely.
Okay, because that place is a dollar-rated area. So, I mean, yes, cantonment properties, you pay dollars. We know that as a fact. So, I'm happy to hear that the Vice President is able to afford a dollar, rent in cantonment. It means that we can't. We being in public service doesn't mean that we should be poor. That's fine. Anyway,
well, so, Chairman, I'm also happy to observe that the Honorable Minority Leader is aware that cantonment lands are dollar rated. So when some of his colleagues are paying 42,000 cedis for a plot of land in cantonments, he must join my crusade against state capture. So I'm very happy. I'm happy you are introducing dollars into this discussion. Very, very happy about it.
My respected colleague, not to worry, would go there gradually. We'll go there gradually. Now, the lands in cantonment, you are telling us that some people have been paying 42,000, whatever you call it. Have you been able to find out from the Lands Commission whether they have a standard pricing regime for lands that they sell to the public? Have you found out?
Honorable Minority Leader, if you can expatiate your question. Standard regime how?
So, to enable one to determine whether a land is being sold at a very low price or a high price, one must pay attention to valuation. So the entity in question, whether it has set its own pricing ceiling, so you pay grounds rent, the actual lease, so, and if so, per acre or per plot, how is that determined? I just want to know from you whether as part of your work you've been able to find out from the Lands Commission whether state lands that they sell, they have their own standard pricing for it.
What I've discovered in the course of my work is that it varies depending on the area. So cantonments varies, range varies. I'm even looking into your own acquisition in Winneba. I have the documents here. It also varies. So it varies all over. I have documents from Tamale as well, which vary. So I don't think there's a standard rate. It varies depending on the place.
Honorable nominee, because you have brought me in, I'm able to find out from you about my properties in Winneba that you know. I want you to share with the public.
This specific one is a lease between you and the government of Ghana on 22nd March 2023. The name Alexander Afenyo Markins for 99 years. This is in Winneba. Yeah, so official Lands Commission document, yeah.
Honourable Member, did you say 99 years? Yes. Because I know as a fact that government land, the lease will not go beyond 50 years. By law.
If I can read verbatim, and this is signed by Justice A. Asanguna, Principal Lands Officer in Winneba, and the official search certificate indicates that the search applied for against the land edged red on the plan attached has been made with the following results. 1, the site is not a state land, but vested by virtue of LI 206, dated 21st November 1961. 2, the site also is covered by a lease dated 22nd March 2023 between the government of Ghana on one part and Alexander Afenyo Markin on the other part for a term of 99 years. So that is what the search certificate states.
Honorable nominee, just by way of public information, because you provided the LI, now I'll give you a background to Winneba and Gomwa. Winneba and Gomwa have had a long period of land disputes. It went all the way to the Gold Coast Supreme Court. So the entire Winneba land, Kwame Nkrumah, just to bring peace between the people of Winneba and the people of Gomwa, came up with this executive instrument. There are two instruments. So in Winneba, every land is vested. All the villages and the Gomwa enclave as well. So I'm happy that you read. The state. Yes. Oh, come on. But the person read, Roxanne, we are doing a serious exercise. I mean, if you guys want us to go the path of partisan politics, we would go there. No. I have been very gentle and respectful. Chairman,
members, let's have some
you need
order.
to talk to your people.
Let's have some order.
Because
Please,
when we
I beg
react,
you.
then they will take offense.
I beg you. Let's
If
have
they
some
do,
order.
We have a lot of things to do. I've been calm, quiet, gentle, respectful. They've been doing, I've been keeping quiet. Please, I have patience, but not to a point that a man cannot tolerate. So, Honorable Nominee, I am happy that sitting there, you've gone digging me. And I'm happy that you brought it here. That Winneba, I want to provide information. Winneba and Gomwa enclave. The chiefs, their lands were all annexed. And they are vested lands. So I'm happy that you read it. And even when the Asafo companies, the Asafo own that area called Ponkwechi, that's Dentifo Asafo. And the Twafo also own the Komfo Ade Kojobedu areas. And some chiefs own their lands. But because of the Kwame Nkrumah EI, even if you buy from the chief, and the chief gives you an indenture, you can't register at Lands Commission because of that EI. So everybody in Winneba would have to go and register through a lease with the state. So I'm happy you brought it up, and then I've just explained to you. Now let us go back to your oral work. You have indicated that you are seeking to recover state lands that have been wrongly appropriated. You call it loot. Now, are you looking at all state lands that were appropriated by individuals since 1992, or you are going way down to the 80s, 70s, or you are limiting yourself to recent years? Can you share some light on your mandate? Because you are seeking to recover, which is very patriotic.
Honourable Member, I believe this will be in the mandate of
So you should share with us.
oral. The nominee before us is being vetted for a position of a foreign minister. So,
Chairman.
how relevant is the mandate of oral to
Chairman.
the position
Chairman.
that the nominee is being vetted for?
Chairman, don't start. I hold you.
We are ready. They can go ahead and call your people.
Chairman, you have the nominee himself spoke about ORA. The nominee himself stated in his CV, and I'm asking him questions about it. Then you say it is not relevant. Chairman, I'm pleading with you. I'm according you every respect. Let's have a smooth inquisition. Let's have a smooth inquisition. Honorable nominee, your work aimed at recovering state assets, lands that have been looted, etc. Which period are you looking at?
That is okay.
His Excellency the President has made clear that looting is looting, and it doesn't matter when it occurred. Once information emerges that it was an unconscionable transaction, we should document it. Remember that I have said that our work is with phase 1, information gathering. When we have presented our report to the president, phase 2 will kick in. That's where the Attorney General will take control, and we'll be looking at the recoveries, the actual retrievals, and if there has to be even prosecutions. Because remember that oral's work is not only about properties. We also have the financial aspect, the causing financial loss to the state. So it's a more broader concept than often it is made to look.
Now, let's leave oral for a moment and come back to your CV. Page 1 of your CV. You provided your address, PO Box AD45 at Ablakwa, Accra. Is the address owned by you? Is it your own postal address, or is a family postal address that you are using?
It's a family postal address.
And how long have you been using this family postal address?
About 10 years.
Now, you've also indicated you have 2 email addresses, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Then you have indicated home address, number 1, Wilshire Boulevard, Airport Hills. This property at Airport Hills, how long have you been living at Airport Hills?
About 8 years.
Is it your own property?
No, I am renting. I'm a tenant.
Airport Hills is dollar rented zone. Are you aware?
Honorable Member, can we have a clarification of dollar rented? Because in Ghana, we use CD. So I don't understand a dollar rented property. Does it mean you pay the rent in dollars?
Not necessarily.
I mean...
Okay. Okay, Honorable Member. So your rent, do you pay it monthly or you pay it annually?
Well, it depends. And Chair, I don't know if you want me to share the tenancy agreement with you, even though I'll have to
don't proceed.
Seek the permission of my dear wife, because we do it together.
Don't proceed. It is not in the interest of the company to be demanding for your tenancy agreement, let alone determining how much you pay as rent.
Okay. Well, I mean,
that is personal.
I like to be transparent, so
but that is personal.
But I respect your ruling, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, you see, we are in this public enterprise together. This is a nominee who, desirous of protecting the public purse, holding people accountable, is able to inquire into how people earn their salaries, especially public officers, how people acquire properties and all. I think that it is only fair. For instance, in this inquisition, at least he came as prepared as possible with my own land that I have owned for over 25 years, which is good.
And that's not only what I have, by the way.
No, provide, honorable member, I am happy. I'm happy for you to share with the public all that you have on me. Read them aloud. No, please read them aloud. Honorable members, I want you, because you brought it up, I want you to share with the public all the properties that I have that you have uncovered, including my bank account. Share with the public. I'm happy for you to share. No, I want you to share because I want it to disclose. I am right here. No, I am right here. I am right here. I want you to disclose to the public all the properties that I own that you have.
Honorable Minority Leader, remember, I am the chair of the committee. If you ask a question that relates to that, fine. I can even overrule the question. So please, you are not allowed to mention the others unless the need arose. Proceed.
Honorable member, as part of your inquisition on me, did you discover some other properties that I own apart from what you have already mentioned? Which search result you shared? Are there others that you were able to uncover?
Is there inquisition in the first place, or you just gather information?
Don't worry, I will put it right if I should use gathered information.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I will disclose what I have at the right time. We are all following our strategy. You have a strategy, I have my strategy. So let's stick to our strategies.
So good. So, honorable nominee, as part of the information you've gathered thus far, the ones that you have gathered about me, can you disclose them to the public apart from what you have discovered?
I cannot at this point.
Honorable nominee, this property at the Airport Hills that you say you rent, and you've been renting it for 8 years, do you pay in cedis or you pay in dollars? Your rent, your tenant rent, do you pay in cedis or you pay in dollars?
In cities, we always pay the city equivalent.
Do you deduct withholding tax from your rent at source? Because every rent, there's a withholding tax element, and then you give the receipts to the landlord. Do you deduct at source and pay to GRA, or you just pay your rent and it doesn't matter how the landlord goes about it?
Honorable members, this is a legal question. It's in two ways. The landlord can choose to pay the rent, and the landlord can agree with the tenant for the tenant to also pay it. And it depends the duration.
So he's opening it up for clarity. So choose the part you would want to answer.
I'm not allowing you to answer that question.
Chairman, please say so for the records. I didn't get that you have
Question overruled.
That's okay, no problem. Honorable member, on your CV, you have indicated on page 2 Page 2. Are you there with me? We have former managing director, Service Solutions. Now share with us when you registered this company.
This was in April 2018.
Are you the sole shareholder of this company, please?
Yes, I am, but
As
it's defunct.
Honorable member, the fact that you are a managing director of a company does not suggest that you are even a shareholder.
Yeah.
Let alone being the sole shareholder.
Yeah.
So the question is overruled.
Are you a shareholder of the company?
the company is defunct, so I'm no longer working or operating this company.
Were you a shareholder of the company?
Sole shareholder.
From which year to which year did you operate this company?
It was just about a year. It was short-lived.
What was the nature of the business of the company?
So it was a communications and PR firm, and because I was appointed Deputy Minister for Information, I saw that there will be potential conflict, and so I decided to wind down to avoid a conflict of interest situation.
Honorable Member, you served as a Deputy Minister of Information between 2009 to 2013. A moment ago, you said the company was registered in 2018. Please, can you bring clarity? Because you said 2018.
No, I meant 2008. Thanks for the 2008. So let the record be corrected. April 2008.
Please kindly take the leave of chair.
So, Mr. Chairman, with your leave.
2008,
not 2018. Yeah, 2008.
Now, you do not own any other company, correct?
I'm a director in one company which is yet to take off. It's a farming arrangement that we are working on. I and a number of people, but it's just been registered, but we haven't fully taken off. We haven't fully started operations. And that's, if Mr. Chairman, you want me to provide the name, that's Volta Clenam Farms. We're going to go into massive cassava production. We want to produce starch from cassava. But it's still in the gestation period. We haven't taken off yet. So we've just registered a company, and we're still holding talks with potential interest parties.
So if you say you've just registered the company, you mean you've registered it as a Registrar General's Department, correct?
Absolutely.
And you are the sole shareholder, correct?
No, I'm not. There are others. I don't think I have their permission to go public with the identity.
Okay, so you agree with me that to go public with information related to people, you necessarily will need their privacy, correct?
It depends on the context and the circumstances. Yeah, it depends.
That's. Can you?
Because these are private individuals. They are not public officials.
That's the point. So I just needed clarity. So you have drawn the distinction that if these individuals are in the public service, their consent and permission is not needed because it will be in the public interest. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
But if they are private individuals, putting out their names will require their consent and authorization, correct?
If they are not politically exposed. Sometimes you can have politically exposed private individuals. So that's why I say it depends on the circumstances. I mean, in these matters, you have to look at all. You have to look at all the parameters.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that, so let me rely on your words. So you're saying that if these people are politically exposed, there is no such requirement for their consent before you put out their names, if I got you right.
I have stated that it depends on the circumstances. So case by case, you make a determination.
But you are aware that per the Companies Act, And then the anti-money laundering law that we passed, we amended to Act 824 something. Yes, Act 824. These individuals that you jointly own shares with in this company are politically exposed by virtue of the association with you. You'd agree with me?
Honorable member, the question is overruled. This is purely a legal question, but the statement is not correct.
Now, you say you are going into cassava production in commercial quantities. You have acquired the land already?
It will be a cooperative, so we will not acquire the land. We've discussed an interesting concept where the community owns, say, the community will contribute land, the youth will be involved. It's part of next initiatives I want to introduce as a member of parliament in Northtown, you know, so it's all geared towards job creation and, you know, promoting agriculture amongst the youth. So that's the kind of concept we are looking at, more of, you know, a communal approach where families who own land will, you know, bring it, young people will volunteer, and then the proceeds will be shared amongst those who sign up for the cooperative program. So it's quite an interesting concept. That's what we are looking at. So we haven't bought any land at this point.
So, Honorable Foreign Minister Designate, in your constituency, do you own any property there? Like the way I own a property in my constituency, do you also own a property in your constituency?
Yes, I do.
With us, how long you've owned this property?
It's a property I use about 10 years to build. Simple 4-bedroom, 1 kitchen, no boys' quarters, no swimming pool, no tennis court. That's a simple structure. I've seen a lot of propaganda out there that I own a $3 million mansion in my constituency, largely fueled by propagandists in your party. But I don't own $3 million in Afenyo. I mean, absolutely preposterous and ridiculous. I mean, those who attended my dad's funeral saw the property. Very simple property, built over a 10-year period. So if you want descriptions, that's what I can give you.
The land, how did you acquire the land? So, example, in my case, I buy it from the chiefs and the ASAFO, but I still would have to go and pay again at the Lands Commission because their title, their document they give, you can't register because of vested land. Do you have a similar situation in your area?
No, mine family land. So, and because I'm member of parliament, they were very, very generous. It was largely a donation, just a little token to show appreciation. You know how people are very happy to reward people who are serving them diligently in their communities. So it was within that spirit.
So, like you're saying that it's a family land, but it was given to you.
Order.
You are saying that the land upon which you built was a gift to you from a family because of your hard work as a member of parliament?
That's not what I said. I said it belongs to a family. It's not a government land. It's owned by a family. And I'm saying that they didn't really let me pay a commercial value. I mean, I have to be grateful to them, and that's all I'm doing. So a little token, a little appreciation, really, but nothing significant.
So you have a lease to the land? You have a lease?
Not yet. Not yet.
So, as far as you are concerned, that simple property, as you've described it, in your constituency is the only property you own, correct? Or you own some other properties?
Mr. Chairman, I think the Vice Chairman is engaging Mr. Chairman, so. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'll need your guidance on that question on the properties I own. Because I've declared my assets, so if you want to get a copy of my asset declaration from the Auditor General, but Mr. Chairman, I leave it in your hands.
Referring to the Assets Declaration Act, it is for a stated reason that you file it and the envelope is not even open. So in that vein, I would disallow the question.
Okay, Chairman, so let me get clarity. So on this table, what you are saying is that the nominee is not obliged to disclose the properties that he has. I mean, just so that I'm guided. If you're saying that a nominee getting into public service, who is a public-spirited individual, who gathers information as to what people own in public life, how politicians live their lives, in this case, he's not obliged to disclose. I'm fine. That's okay.
Let's do what the law requires from us. The law requires that you file your asset declaration.
Man, I'm not talking about the law. I never went into asset declaration. I asked a very simple question. He said at the Airport Hills, based on the information here, he says that he's a tenant at Airport Hills. He's lived there as a tenant for 8 years. Then he himself disclosed that people have been making all manner of propaganda. He owns this, he owns that. However, in his constituency, just as I do, he has a simple house, and that simple house has a 4-bedroom, no boys' quarters, no swimming pool. I have a swimming pool in Winneba. In fact, I have two. My beachfront and my White House. I have 2 big swimming pools. I have them. I have a boys' quarters, yes, and I have had them for years, which is different from you. Yeah. Well, the fact. So I want to know from you whether you have other properties.
His disclosure clearly is a voluntary disclosure. But what you are seeking to do is for him to disclose his assets publicly. The law says that you declare it, they keep the envelope, they don't even open it. As to whether that is right or not, that is apparently the law.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I've placed on record that I am happy for the committee to engage with the Auditor General to have a copy of my asset declaration, if you so wish. I mean, I'm not opposed to that, but I can state on the record that I have never purchased a government land, if that is what is of interest to the minority leader. I've never bought a government land, if that is, or a public land or a state land, if that is where he's headed.
Well, sorry for the interruption. That's an issue we have to deal with.
Now, Honorable Chairman, Mr. Chairman, I just want us to put this matter to a peaceful rest so that we are all clear. I understand that as a requirement of law and by law, we are to make an asset declaration sealed in an envelope deposited with the Auditor General. Are you therefore saying that in view of that law, nominees that appear before us are not obliged to make a disclosure of properties that they own? If so, I will respect it. I just want clarity as to your ruling.
Yes, by imperative of that law, you cannot publicly ask anybody to publicly disclose his assets. That is why the disclosure of the access, in the wisdom of the framers of the law, is confidential.
Honorable nominee, let us deal with this combine harvester that you used your car loan to acquire for your constituents. So the use of the combine harvester, do the farmers pay for the use of it?
So the Afenyo rice farmers have a cooperative, and they make it's heavily subsidized. So they make a little contribution which they use to service the combine harvester, to buy fuel and all of that. So it's their internal arrangement for servicing and buying fuel.
So, honorable nominee, are they in the process paying back the facility?
No, they are not to pay back.
Are you getting information on WhatsApp?
So, my respected colleague, let's go to April 8th. You publicly demanded on Twitter that former President Akufo-Addo should submit an annual presidential staffers report. And I'm quoting you. We demand the annual report now. Unquote. However, official records show that this report had already been submitted by the presidency to Parliament on the March 25, 2024, and formally acknowledged by the Speaker's office on March 28, 2024, nearly 2 weeks before your demand. As someone who is being nominated as our chief diplomat, this office requires meticulous attention to facts and careful verification before making public statement. Can you explain? 1. What steps you took to verify your information before making your demand public? That's the first one.
The Clerk of Parliament, Mr. Jethro, will confirm to you that I called him to find out if the presidential staffers list had been submitted, and he responded that it had not been submitted. And you need to recall that consistently over the 8-year period is one of the items my caucus asked me to specialize in, and consistently I've had to. It's been really a difficult struggle to get the presidency to comply with that act, and you know that most often it is submitted after the March deadline. In April 2018, I thought that consistent with that track record, they had also missed the mark, and indeed I did verify from the clerk at table, Mr. Jethro, before I put out that tweet.
But you subsequently became aware that indeed the presidency had submitted the search information ahead of your publication, correct?
So I saw a tweet, an X post by counsel to the president responding to my post that they had submitted it earlier. So I took steps to follow up from the Speaker's office, and I can't place on record that I have been pursuing that document since. Strangely, I haven't seen it, despite my pursuit, and it's not been laid in the House, which is really strange. I don't know what happened to that document in transit, but we don't have copies. No MP has been given a copy, which I find really strange.
The fact is that the Speaker's office confirmed receipt of the said document way ahead of your publication.
I wouldn't know that. President, Speaker communicating, writing letters to each other directly. They don't copy MPs. So I wouldn't. I did my check, diligent check at the table office. Mr. Jethro told me it had not been submitted. And I then reminded the president that he has to comply. And if you check consistently, has not been complying with the law on this matter.
Well, for me, I believe that the recipient of such communication is the Speaker's office. And to be fair to the president and all presidents, not only Akufo-Addo, our current president, once the communication is delivered to the Speaker's office, I believe that it would only be fair that even if our initial diligence search could not reveal the delivery of such, once we become aware, it is only fair that we acknowledge same and take note. I think, in all fairness to President Akufo-Addo, he did not break the law. But if you don't want to acknowledge that fact, I wouldn't press you on that. I will just move to my next question. But the fact is that at the time you put out your information, the document has already been ferried to the Speaker's office 2 weeks earlier, and you can always verify. Let me move to the next question. In March 2021, you resigned from the appointment committee, citing personal and principled reasons. You chose to act independently rather than to align with the collective decision process of your caucus. Now, as Minister of Foreign Affairs, that is when approved, you will be required to represent and defend Ghana's collective cabinet positions, even when they might differ from your personal views. Now, how do you reconcile your past actions with this fundamental requirement of cabinet collective responsibility, and what assures this committee that you would uphold this principle if confirmed as minister?
Well, thank you very much. I am a conviction politician. I have certain principles and certain standards. And the principle of collective cabinet responsibility, inherent in that principle, is that if there's a cabinet position you don't agree with, you resign. If you stay on, then you must defend that cabinet position. So if it's a matter I feel strongly about, I'm not one who finds it difficult to walk away, to preserve my convictions and my philosophies.
Thank you. Thank you. I refer you to a publication by graphic.com.gh on 12 September 2017, where former Attorney General, Mr. Martin Amidu, documented several instances where you allegedly engaged in confrontational exchanges with senior political figures, including your interactions with him on Ay3hu case. Now, let's hear from you. Did you engage the former AG with a view to facilitating the payment due Ay3hu at the time?
Well, thank you very much. At the time, I was Deputy Minister for Information, and I received a petition, came to the ministry, and I'm glad that former Ministers of Information are here. I see the Honorable Mahama Ayariga. It is key to the mandate of the Ministry of Information to receive feedback and ferry that information to the relevant quarters. So in this case, there was a petition from the director of Ay3hu, and all I did was to forward that. And if you, Mr. Chair, you give me the permission to read from the current Ministry of Information's website. I have a printout here, a statement introducing the ministry, signed by the former Minister for Information, the Honorable Fatima Abubakar. And she states here, and Ghanaians who are watching can log onto the website of the Ministry of Information, which is appears to be now defunct, by the way. The Honorable Fatima Abubakar writes, quote, "Our goal as a ministry is to empower the citizens of Ghana through information dissemination, to ensure transparency and accountability in public policy cycles. The mandate of the Ministry of Information is to facilitate the gathering of feedback for the executive branch of government," unquote. This is President Akufo-Addo's Minister for Information. And that's all I was doing in the Ay3hu matter.
Okay, so if so, why then would he describe you, I mean, from what you are saying, public office holder, you received a petition, you have forwarded it to his office. First of all, let me understand you. Did you forward the petition requesting for payment through your ministry by a letter? Did you write to his office?
No, I was not requesting for payment. I was only serving as a conveyor belt. This has been brought to the Ministry of Information. We collect feedback for various government agencies. So please receive this. That was all. I didn't pass any judgment. I'm not the Attorney General. I mean, how dare you dictate to the Attorney General on what to do? So
now, members, let's make progress.
So, if you only ferried the letter to him, why would he therefore describe you as uncouth and somebody who has been insulting elders? Because he stated so. I mean, if there was no verbal engagement, but just a letter you wrote, how would he give you such a description?
Well, first of all, I would like to see that publication because
it on the 12th September 2017. It's still online, so you can peruse it. That's why I wanted clarity, that what was the mode of interaction. And you have said it was through a formal letter you sent to his office regarding the petition you received from Ay3hu, meaning you didn't phone him to talk to him. So if you didn't do so, how he gave you this description is why I want to know your view on it.
I mean, fortunately, I've been
Honorable member.
I've been in the public space.
Honorable member, hold it. The question is a bit nebulous. How somebody have a view about you, you may not have control over it. So the question is either rephrased or overruled.
Chairman, you reserve the sole right on admissibility. I will respect that always. Honorable nominee, I'm sure you become aware that the new president of the United States, through some executive orders, has been very tough on immigration and all. Obviously, without being hypothetical, there may be Ghanaians in the United States who don't have documents. How prepared are you for possible mass deportations, considering the situation we find ourselves? Share with us some strategies you intend to put in place to warmly see our compatriots safely back to Ghana.
This is a matter that is of concern to a lot of Ghanaians. And since my nomination, I have diligently inquired from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs what the status is. There have been publications that about 6,200 Ghanaians will be affected. But from the brief that has been shared with me from the officials at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they allay fears that the numbers are not that high, and that currently the official communication the ministry has received from Washington is 156, not 6,200, 156 Ghanaians who face imminent deportation. And indeed, they indicate that about 40 of them have been asked to be, they've asked our mission in Washington to process those people expeditedly to be deported. It's clear that President Trump is really serious about this, his executive order. If you follow what happened to the Colombians, when the Colombian president refused to accept Colombians who were being deported, we saw that immediately President Trump announced trade sanctions, and Colombia has had to retreat. So I think that the strategy that we should deploy as a country is to ensure that our missions abroad extend consular services to all of these persons. They are our compatriots. We must be concerned about their welfare. And if we have to give them legal assistance, that's why earlier I talked about the consular fund. We need to quickly populate that fund. And I'm happy that the distinguished Minister of Finance is here as we work on the 2025 budget. It is a line item I will really be appealing to his ministry to approve, so that we would have a consular fund for the first time, so that that fund will be available, legal support, consular assistance. At least let's do our best, so that if they have a case to remain in those countries, they stay. And then if they have to be received by us, it is also done in a humane way that respects their rights. So we are not going to leave them there to struggle on their own. We will let them feel and know that the government of Ghana, the people of Ghana, care about their plight, and that we are doing our best to extend to them consular assistance.
Chairman, with your leave, I want to apply for a post-trade break, 5-minute post-trade break.
Leave humbly granted. Is the house at there? This is the second one.
No, we had a small break. Chairman.
Order. Let's make progress. Honorable Minority Leader, you have the floor.
Honorable nominee. Please, do you have a Ghana card?
Yes, I do.
At what point did you acquire a Ghana card? Can you tell us the dates you first acquired a Ghana card?
I'll need to refer. I don't have it here. I'm on oath, so I have to be accurate.
Do you remember publicly condemning the policy of the Ghana card?
Which aspect of the policy? Can you please?
Auction of the Ghana card.
I don't recall. I don't recall.
You don't recall?
That.
Okay. That's fine. The Ghana card that you have acquired, do you find it useful, and will you recommend to all Ghanaians who have not acquired Ghana card to acquire one?
I said earlier in response to a question on passport reforms that I'm even seeking to collaborate with the Ministry of Communication so that those who have Ghana card who already have their biometrics in the system should not have to go back to the passport office to take their biometrics, that we need to have our systems synchronized. They have to integrate, talk to each other, and instead of these silos that we are promoting. So clearly, I believe in having a national ID system, and this has been in the works for many, many years. I recall that Professor Mills, President Mahama, and even before them, all governments have played their role in making sure that we have a national ID for our country. So I don't see how anybody will oppose a national ID system.
Honorable nominee, my next question to you, I'll come there. My next question to you has to do with my next question to you has to do with your tax. Now, yes, honorable member. Now, pay attention to the details thereon. Your 2023 and 2024 tax clearance certificate. Now, on your CV, you indicate that you haven't had any gainful employment in the private sector since you left school, from the CV you provided. The CV you provided, you've done any private work, you've not been in any employment outside of your political appointment. Do you maintain that?
It's not factual. I'm wondering if you have the right CV. Do you have my 10-page CV? Because
Just a moment.
I've been.
Let's do step by step, please.
So that is not factual. You're
Okay, please don't worry. Kindly, since you have perhaps the correct one before you, let's go. Take us to the gainful employment component of your CV.
If you come with me to page 7 of my CV, you see that as a student at the University of Ghana, I was the campus manager of Carrera Computers Resource Center at the University of Ghana. It was above Ay3hu Hall, the Ay3hu Hall JCR, and my mates know that I did employ some of them as a campus manager. This was a campus job. And before that job as well, I taught computers at Cosmopolitan Computer Systems in Koko. Some of my students are here doing national service. I meet them every day. And then we talked earlier about service solutions. So it is not accurate to say that I've never worked in the private sector.
Thank you very much.
So the campus job, you were a full-time student at Legon, correct?
Yes, I was.
This job you were doing on campus was a part-time job, correct?
Yes, I mean, I've always loved to work. Yes, I believe in the dignity of work. And let me also add that during vacations, I took on vacation jobs. My mates will tell you that I was part of the work abroad squad on summer holidays. typically in the United States during summer holidays. So I've always believed in the dignity of work.
Okay, work abroad squad. So share with us the periods that you went to America. Did you take that J1 visa that allowed you to work as a student during that short period? Was that the visa you were on?
I want to believe so because I was allowed to work and I had no issues.
We would want to give you the benefit of sharing that visa with us. We know you don't have it here.
Yes, I'm
But
happy
since
to
you
share
consider
that.
you were
Very
doing
happy to
work
share
abroad,
that. Yes.
you'll be sharing that with us.
Absolutely.
Okay, can you share with us the various works you did abroad, the work abroad, what specifically you did?
Yeah, quite a number of jobs. One in a hotel called Doyle. I also worked in the dollar shop, and then I also worked in CS. Depends on the year and what openings are available.
Now, in Koko, you say you taught at Nkoko for your national service. National service cannot be described as gainful employment. It's not employment, it's national service.
I never said national service. So in Koko was the 2-year break between secondary school and university. I thought that I made good use of the time. So I joined an uncle who was running a computer firm in Coleman International School. I'm very proud of that job I took as I must have been, what, 19 or 18.
Which year did you take up?
This must be between 1999. I left Presec in 99. So between 1999 and 2001.
So you mean this was before university?
Absolutely. I've always worked. That's why when I hear people say I've never worked before, I laugh
Sir
at them.
Ablakwa, please pay attention.
No, it's
about
important.
what somebody has said.
No, it's
that
important.
That is not why we, please.
I believe that's what's informing some of these questions.
Mr. Chairman.
Because that's why I have in my CV, you said that I've never worked.
The nominee must learn to reciprocate respect.
Honorable nominee.
You should learn to reciprocate
Honorable
respect.
Minority Leader.
Respect.
If the nominee in his answer indicated clearly that the gap between SS and university, so clearly that will be before going to university. So the question whether it is before going to university for me is unwarranted.
And absolute respect to you. Can you withdraw the word unwarranted? Please. Chairman.
Then let me substitute it to say that it's not needed. Because the answer has been provided that I did that work between my SS and the university. So it cannot be that he completes university before doing that particular work. It is stated in the answer.
Honorable nominee, you referred to page 7 of your CV. Is that where the Nkoko school is stated?
When I referred to page 7, I was talking about Carrera Computers at the University of Ghana. That's what I said.
But this one that you said you worked between 1999 and 2000, you said the 2 years prior to going to university, you did some work, gainful employment. Do you have it on your CV?
No, I didn't think that I should add that.
So I wasn't wrong when I said it was on your CV, and you said
No. You said I've never worked in the private sector. Carrera Computers is not owned by the government.
Yes, in your,
with all due respect.
In your answer, you brought in this Nkoko school.
Yeah, and work abroad,
which
is all not here.
Yes. So you would agree with me that I am dealing with what is before me, and I can't speculate.
Except that you are not dealing with what is before you properly. You didn't see Kyra computers and concluded that I had no private sector work experience, which was unfair to me.
Honorable nominee, you said that the work you did, which you did not document in your CV, was gainful employment. My question was anchored on gainful employment. You are saying that you did some work 2 years before going to university, gainful employment. Let us stay there for a while. Let's stay there for a while. This gainful employment, were you being paid salary month on month?
For the record, there have been many gainful employments that are listed here, and so it's important to set the record straight. Yes, I was being paid monthly.
Were you contributing taxes?
My employer was.
Was there SNIT contribution?
I believe so.
Given the opportunity, would you be able to furnish us with those details of taxes that were deducted at source and your SNIT contribution for that period?
Very happy to do that.
Would you take the leave of chairman to amend your CV to include the employment details you just spoke about?
That is, if the nominee he decides that he wants to do that. If there is a need, but if there is no need, as a result of which he didn't put it on the CV, so be it. Let me also place on record that for the purposes of taxes, we have the tax clearance of the nominee before us.
Honorable nominee, Savvy, the company that you said you registered and you were the sole shareholder, you said you did some work. You had some contracts, and when those contracts terminated, you decided to fold it up. It became defunct, you said. Now, for the period that the company worked, you executed some jobs. Did you pay taxes to the state?
Yes, I did.
Did you have employees apart from you?
Yes, 3.
Did you pay their SNIT contributions?
Yes, I did.
Did you pay their taxes?
Absolutely.
Given the opportunity, can you furnish this committee with all those details?
I'm happy to do that.
Thank you. Now, between 2013 and now, have you done any work apart from your politics? Have you done any work, and I'll break it down, as in consultancy work that has earned you an income, or engage in some other business that you've earned some income apart from the politics?
Full-time politician.
So you have no other source of income apart from your earnings as a member of parliament?
Well, apart from little savings, investments, and the support of my dearest lawyer wife, as I call her.
Thank you very much. I recognize Honorable Mahama Yarga, the leader, majority leader, for a follow-up question.
Mr. Nominee, Is there a job such as a politician?
Well, it's public service, and we receive little compensation for it. So it's more of public service.
So you've been a public servant, serving in specific publicly established offices.
Yes, please.
Can you name some of those offices?
The Deputy Minister for Information, office I occupied. Deputy Minister for Education, office I occupied. Member of Parliament for 4 terms. So these are some of the public offices I have occupied over the period.
Established under the Constitution?
Rightly so, Majority Leader.
So there's no such thing as a politician, working as a politician?
We work as public servants. I mean, we use it loosely that we are all politicians, but I follow your guidance, Majority Leader.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, fair enough. So, Honorable Nominee, on your CV, where did you stay? Where did you write you were born? So you'll be surprised for anybody to suggest that you were born in Afenyo Battle.
No,
If they
that's
said so.
yeah. I'll be surprised. That's my hometown, but I was born in Accra, in Kolebu.
Now, Chairman, let me, with your leave, nominee, please, respectfully, this has nothing to do with you. I just want to bring a matter to the attention of the chair of the committee and to all of us. Mr. Chair, the rules of the House provides in order 2171. And I read, the appointment committee comprises the first deputy speaker as chairperson, minority leader as ranking member, the deputy majority leader as vice chairperson, and the following other members. A, deputy minority leader. B, majority chief whip. C, minority chief whip. Wait.
Order.
Mr. Chair, we are standing orders, there are 2 prints. So the one you are holding with this color, that's fine. Fortunately, I also have the same thing here. The appointment committee comprises the first deputy speaker as chairperson, the minority leader as ranking member. It's the same, don't mind them. It's the same, don't mind them.
Please proceed.
If you are not firm, they will confuse you. I've been in this game for long. You can't confuse me on rules. The deputy majority leader as vice chairperson, the deputy minority leader as deputy ranking member, and the following other members: Majority Chief Whip. B, Minority Chief Whip. And 5 other members selected based on the numerical strength of the parties in Parliament. Two, the chairperson and the ranking member and 2 other members of the relevant subject standing or select committee shall join the members of the appointment committee to consider persons nominated by the president for appointment. Those follows, and I will read them as Chief Justice and Justice of the Supreme Court, Ministers of State, Deputy Ministers, the Administrator of the Judicial Assembly's Common Fund, the Special Prosecutor, and other persons specified under the Constitution or any other enactment. Mr. Chair, I have been informed that a moment ago, Mr. Speaker has made certain orders to the effect that this committee has to be reconstituted. I would want to bring such orders of Mr. Speaker to your attention in view of the certain developments on the House floor. I do not know whether such development has come to your attention too. But since Mr. Speaker has made consequential orders and it has just been brought to my attention, I believe that we may have to be guided by the orders of Mr. Speaker. And he went further to say that we should proceed according to my first Deputy Whip. He is further directed that we appear before him in his office. So I'm just bringing this to your attention, and he, with emphasis, according to the first Deputy Whip, that leadership should come to him so that this appointment committee is reconstituted. I believe that when we appear before him, he would give the directives as to how this can be done in accordance with our rules. So I'm just bringing this to your attention, for your guidance. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for bringing it to my attention. I will give the floor to Honorable Mahama Ayariga, the Majority Leader. Then I will make categorical pronouncement.
Chairman, the Minority Leader started reading Order 217. The Minority Leader started reading Order 217. But he didn't conclude on why he was reading Order 217. I don't know if he was reading Order 217 with a view to raising a question of quorum, or he just enjoys reading Order 217. So can you tell us why you read Order 217?
Okay, Chairman, Leader, thank you very much. The reason I referred to Order 217 was that the information from the first Deputy Whip was to the effect that Mr. Speaker has made certain orders at the plenary, and he consequentially added that this committee, as presently constituted, must be reconstituted. 1. And 2, that this committee leadership of this committee should meet him in his office. I did not go into details as to the orders, but I only had to refer to the 217 because we know from what the first deputy whip just told me that there are certain developments at the plenary. So, and I felt that I should bring that to the attention of Chair.
Thank you. Yes, I was at plenary when the Speaker made a formal communication to the House. In the Speaker's communication, he did not suspend the sitting of the Appointments Committee. He did not suspend the sitting of the Appointments Committee. What the Speaker said is that the Chief Whip of the minority and the Chief Whip of the majority, who are members of the Appointments Committee pursuant to Order 217, 1A and B, have been suspended from the House for 10 days. You know the quorum. Sorry, 2 weeks, not 10 days, 2 weeks. You know the provisions relating to quorum. And when you read the composition of the Appointments Committee, I thought that you probably were entertaining a view that if the majority chief whip and the minority chief whip are suspended, then we will not have quorum to do business. But if you look at the numbers involved, clearly, even if you take out the majority chief whip and the minority chief whip, just 2 people, you will still have 9 members, and so you will have quorum. Even if the minority walks out, you need just 4 to form a quorum. And I'm assuring you that you will get the 4 to constitute the quorum, to transact business. If you break the microphone, you will also be suspended for 2 weeks. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing. Then the second thing that the Speaker said is that the Committee on Selection, he didn't say the leadership of this Appointments Committee. He said the Committee on Selection should meet him immediately after adjournment for us to reconsider the constitution of the Appointments Committee, including the rules of the Appointments Committee. When he was leaving the chamber, headed to his office, I followed him and said, it will be difficult to meet now. So he rescheduled the meeting to Monday, 11 a.m. So the Speaker is not expecting you in his office because he's not even in the building. He has gone to send his wife to the airport. She's traveling. And he actually told us his wife is traveling, and the Speaker loves his wife. So he went to send his wife to the airport. So there's no problem. The Speaker is not requesting for your presence at any meeting now. And the Speaker has not suspended the proceedings of this committee. He's spoken about the reconstitution of the committee, and he's spoken about the consideration of the rules of the committee. So this committee is properly constituted, and this committee should continue working.
Chairman, thank you. I was in the chamber with the respected majority leader and the leader of the House. The Speaker, to quote him, he said that the committee of selection need to meet immediately to reconstitute the appointment committee. So what he is saying, Chairman, with your permission, I have the speaker voice. I can play it here to say exactly what he said. This is what the speaker said.
Today,
Please.
Today,
I disallow you playing that.
To reconstitute the appointment committee.
Please. Is disallowed. Appointment committee doesn't constitute committees of parliament.
No, he said the selection committee to reconstitute the appointment committee today. That's what I have just played. That's what he said, and I have brought that to your attention. So if we move forward, it means that we are obeying the orders of the speaker. I just want to draw that to your attention.
Honourable members, let me place on record that the deputy whip is not a conduit through which speaker will communicate to the appointment committee. Article 102 of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana is very clear regarding quorum. And this is a parliamentary business. Let me read. A quorum of parliament, apart from the person presiding, shall be 1/3 of all members of parliament. If you relate that to this particular committee, a quorum will be 4 out of 11. 2, Article 104 is clear on decision making, and you need 50%. So therefore, if 2 people, 50% of the members of the committee, if 2 members are suspended out of a membership of 11, we have 9 members of the committee. We form quorum, we can do business, and can as well take decision. So, honorable members, we are not going to countenance any attempt to delay the proceedings of this House. With due difference to the deputy whip, I think it is in the interest of Ghanaians that we proceed to conduct the proceedings of the committee without any interruption in any manner whatsoever. This is my ruling. I will proceed to give the floor to the minority leader to ask his questions.
Chairman, I understand your ruling. I just want to draw your attention to one thing, then you can proceed. Chairman, I want to draw your attention to Order 217, and then to emphasize on 2171 A and B. They said the appointment committee comprises, and I'm emphasizing on A and B, that says the majority chief whip, the minority chief whip, and C says 5 other members. Chairman, the A and B does not refer to a member, but a portfolio. Majority chief whip, minority chief whip. In this sense, if the minority and the majority chief whip are suspended and their name is mentioned under this order, so who is in this committee as minority chief whip and majority chief whip?
So indirectly, in your own wisdom, you are telling us that parliamentary proceedings will not go on because the majority chief whip and the minority chief whip are suspended for 2 weeks because they are also members of parliament and they hold those respective positions. I beg to differ, and I will submit on record that will rather amount to having a blurred view of the law. Can we make progress? Honourable members, I won't recognize any non-member of the committee. Honorable Minority Leader, if you are done, then we can proceed.
Chairman, thank you. Honorable nominee, do you know about the company Volta Clenham Farms and Industries Limited?
Yes, I talked about it earlier.
You said the shareholders include some other private persons, correct?
Yeah, I said that there are other persons in this arrangement, and yeah, 2 other persons are in this arrangement.
So I just want to be specific so that we can get specific answers. If you say there are 2 other persons in this arrangement, now, is it the directorship you are referring to or the shareholding?
The directorship.
Okay, so now let's come to the shareholding. Are you the sole shareholder of this entity?
Yes, I am.
But if it's the same company, you had earlier, unless you want to amend your answer, in your earlier response to this very company, you had indicated that there are other shareholders. That is where Chairman said that because they are not here and they are private persons, you are exempt from mentioning their names. So I want you to bring clarity to that.
Well, I'll be happy to see the verbatim report, but for the record, I am a sole shareholder and there are other directors.
Mr. Chairman, at this point, you know, my inclination is to exercise utmost respect. We are in leadership. If I disrespect you, then I'm disrespecting myself. But I need to make the point very firmly. From what has come to my attention from the Deputy Whip, I think that it was very clear in the language of Mr. Speaker on the need for us to immediately get to the committee of selection to proceed to reconstitute the appointment committee. I will repeat it to your attention that let us err on the side of caution so that we do the right thing. At least if you had even suspended sitting the hearing for even a minute to enable you to listen to the speaker's voice, private, I'm sure you will be able to at least appreciate the situation in a different light, or possibly call Mr. Speaker himself. We can suspend for just a minute to enable you call the speaker, but in the Honorable Majority Leader, just a second. Honorable Alasan Umar, please, the call is on all of us to show deference. If I talk, you talk, it doesn't help. So I would want to respectfully say that with what I know now, I would want to recuse myself in order not to be in breach of Mr. Speaker's orders. I can't force speak, Chairman. Chairman has his discretion, and I need to respect that. So I leave it at that to you, and then I'm sure we can take up other matters. Thank you so much, sir.
Honorable members, the information is clear from the Majority Leader that owing to the circumstances, the Speaker has rescheduled a meeting to Monday, at 11. We are proceeding with the vetting. Any member who wants to recuse himself is free to do so. After all, we are living in a free and a democratic dispensation. So, please, let's proceed.
Chairman, with respect, I am extending to you all courtesies. My language in the application was done in utmost good faith and with respect to you. If you use phrases like democratic state and freedom of whatever, I don't think that it helps the situation. I refer to Speaker. No, Chairman. I will continuously express my views and show you respect. I'm pleading with you to be measured in the language you use. I will not do anything to hurt you in terms of language use. The language you just use is in bad taste, and I believe it's unacceptable. If it pleases you, you may withdraw. If you say you are the chairman and what you say is final, it's fine. But at least I've made my point to you.
Honorable members, unless the minority leader has been able to point exactly to free or how free and democratic dispensation will be unparliamentary, I will be glad to withdraw it. But this is a phrase that we always use even on the floor of Parliament, and by our own standing order. It's not in bad taste, it is not unparliamentary, it is not insulting. So clearly, I do not know why we are even going on this tangent. So, honorable members, I beg, let's make progress. But from the indication of the minority leader, he has finished asking the questions. Then I will proceed to acknowledge our guests and consequentially discharge the witness. Honourable members, we have Mrs. Nuhila Sedu Nuela. Then those who are typing the spouse of the nominee. Then we have Togbiga Patamia Jokli, President of Bato Traditional Council. But honorable members, it may interest you to know that because I know Bato, what is written here is Bata. Honorable members, we have Mamaga Ay3hu, Paramount Queen Mother of Bato Traditional Council. We have Dr. Nana Edusei Echwiniwa Ampim, the first, President of Tepa Traditional Council. We have Chief Damana Nafia Mustafa, alias Nyaba and friends from Salaga. We have Mama Agbovi, Paramount Queen Mother of Dofo, traditional area. We also have Togwi Ababio, Acting President of Volo traditional area. We have Togbi Misrobi III, Mankralo of Fojoku traditional area. We have Mama Aku Seme, Queen Mother of Mepe traditional area. We have Ambassador Ekuya Dansoa, former member of parliament and former ambassador to Germany. We have Honorable Daniel Yao Domolovu and the rest of oral team members. We have Ambassador Cleland Ramses, Chief Director, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the rest of the Foreign Affairs staff. You are welcome. Honorable nominee, Honorable Dr. Obera Samoa, former Attorney General and Minister of State. You are highly welcome. Honorable nominee, thank you so much for attending upon the committee. You hear from the committee, you are hereby discharged. The next nominee should take his seat. The clerk of the committee, please proceed to administer the oath. Environment. Our revered guests, please kindly take leave of us so that we can continue the proceedings.
Proceed to take the oath. Sorry, to administer the oath.
Ay3hu, Ay3hu,
solemnly swear by the Almighty God
Two, Article 104 is clear on decision making, and you need 50%. So therefore, if 50% of the members of the committee, if 2 members are suspended. Out of a membership of 11, we have 9 members of the committee. We form quorum. We can do business and can as well take decision. So, honorable members, we are not going to countenance any attempt to delay the proceedings of this House. With due difference to the Deputy Whip, I think it is in the interest of Ghanaians that we proceed to conduct the proceedings of the committee without any interruption in any manner whatsoever. This is my ruling. I will proceed to give the floor to the minority leader to ask his questions.
Chairman, I understand your ruling. I just want to draw your attention to one thing, then you can proceed. Chairman, I want to draw your attention to Order 217, and then to emphasize on 2171 A and B. They said the appointment committee comprises, and I'm emphasizing on A and B, that says the majority chief whip, the minority chief whip, and C says 5 other members. Chairman, the A and B does not refer to a member, but a portfolio. Majority chief whip, minority chief whip. In this sense, if the minority and the majority chief whip are suspended and their name is mentioned under this order, so who is in this committee as minority chief whip and majority chief whip?
Indirectly, in your own wisdom, you are telling us that parliamentary proceedings will not go on because the majority chief whip and the minority chief whip are suspended for 2 weeks, because they are also members of parliament and they hold those respective positions. I beg to differ, and I'll submit on record that that would rather amount to having a blurred view of the law. Can we make progress? Honourable members, I won't recognize any non-member of the committee. Honorable Minority Leader, if you are done, then we can proceed.
Chairman, thank you. Honorable nominee, do you know about the company Volta Clenham Farms and Industries Limited?
Yes, I talked about it earlier.
You said the shareholders include some other private persons, correct?
Yeah, I said that there are other persons in this arrangement, and yeah, 2 other persons are in this arrangement.
So I just want to be specific so that we can get specific answers. If you say there are 2 other persons in this arrangement, now, is it the directorship you are referring to or the shareholding?
The directorship.
Okay, so now let's come to the shareholding. Are you the sole shareholder of this entity?
Yes, I am.
But if it's the same company, you had earlier, unless you want to amend your answer, in your earlier response to this very company, you had indicated that there are other shareholders. That is where Chairman said that because they are not here and they are private persons, you are exempt from mentioning their names. So I want you to bring clarity to that.
Well, I'll be happy to see the verbatim report, but for the record, I am a sole shareholder and there are other directors.
Mr. Chairman, at this point, you know, my inclination is to exercise utmost respect. We are in leadership. If I disrespect you, then I'm disrespecting myself. But I need to make the point very firmly. From what has come to my attention from the Deputy Whip, I think that it was very clear in the language of Mr. Speaker on the need for us to immediately get to the committee of selection to proceed to reconstitute the appointment committee. I will repeat it to your attention that let us err on the side of caution so that we do the right thing. At least if you had even suspended sitting the hearing for even a minute to enable you to listen to the speaker's voice, private, I'm sure you will be able to at least appreciate the situation in a different light, or possibly call Mr. Speaker himself. We can suspend for just a minute to enable you call the speaker, but in the Honorable Majority Leader, just a second. Honorable Alasan Umar, please, the call is on all of us to show deference. If I talk, you talk, it doesn't help. So I would want to respectfully say that with what I know now, I would want to recuse myself in order not to be in breach of Mr. Speaker's orders. I can't force speak, Chairman. Chairman has his discretion, and I need to respect that. So I leave it at that to you, and then I'm sure we can take up other matters. Thank you so much, sir.
Honorable members, the information is clear from the Majority Leader that owing to the circumstances, the Speaker has rescheduled a meeting to Monday at 11. We are proceeding with the vetting. Any member who wants to recuse himself is free to do so. After all, we are living in a free and a democratic dispensation. So, please, let's proceed.
Chairman, with respect, I am extending to you all courtesies. My language in the application was done in utmost good faith and with respect to you. If you use phrases like democratic state and freedom of whatever, I don't think that it helps the situation. I refer to Speaker. Chairman, I will continuously express my views and show you respect. I'm pleading with you to be measured in the language you use. I will not do anything to hurt you in terms of language use. The language you just use is in bad taste, and I believe it's unacceptable. If it pleases you, you may withdraw. If you say you are the chairman and what you say is final, it's fine. But at least I've made my point to you.
Honorable members, unless the Minority Leader has been able to point exactly to free or how free and democratic dispensation will be unparliamentary, I will be glad to withdraw it. But this is a phrase that we always use, even on the floor of Parliament, and by our own standing order. It's not in bad taste. It is not unparliamentary. It is not insulting. So clearly, I do not know why we are even going on this tangent. So, honorable members, I beg, let's make progress. But from the indication of the minority leader, he has finished asking the questions. Then I will proceed to acknowledge our guests and consequentially discharge the witness. Honourable members, we have Mrs. Nuhila Sedu Nuela. Then those who are typing the spouse of the nominee. Then we have Togbiga Patamia Jokli, President of Bato Traditional Council. But honorable members, it may interest you to know that because I know Bato, what is written here is Bata. Honorable members, we have Mamaga Ay3hu, Paramount Queen Mother of Bato Traditional Council. We have Dr. Nana Edusei Echwiniwa Ampim, the first, President of Tepa Traditional Council. We have Chief Damana Nafia Mustafa, alias Nyaba and friends from Salaga. We have Mama Agbovi, Paramount Queen Mother of Dofo, traditional area. We also have Togwi Ababio, Acting President of Volo traditional area. We have Togbi Misrobi III, Mankralo of Fojoku traditional area. We have Mama Aku Seme, Queen Mother of Mepe traditional area. We have Ambassador Ekuya Dansoa, former member of parliament and former ambassador to Germany. We have Honorable Daniel Yao Domolovu and the rest of oral team members. We have Ambassador Cleland Ramses, Chief Director, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the rest of the Foreign Affairs staff. You are welcome. Honorable nominee, Honorable Dr. Obera Samoa, former Attorney General and Minister of State. You are highly welcome. Honorable nominee, thank you so much for attending upon the committee. You hear from the committee, you are hereby discharged. The next nominee should take his seat.